All right, if you drive a car in the UK, you're going to want to pay close attention. Big changes are on the way for UK car tax. Starting in April 2025, the government is launching one of the biggest shakeups to vehicle excise duty, or VED as we know it, in years. And trust me, it's going to affect pretty much everyone.
So, the big question on everyone's mind, is your car tax going to go up? Well, for the vast majority of drivers, and that includes you if you've got a petrol, a diesel, or even a shiny new electric car, the short answer is a resounding yes. Let's get into exactly how that's going to happen. Okay, first, just a super quick refresher. Vehicle Excise Duty, or VED, is that tax we all have to pay every year just to keep our cars on the road. For a long time now, how much you pay has been tied directly to your car's CO2 emissions. The whole idea was to nudge us towards greener choices. But, as you're about to see, that whole landscape is about to get a massive shakeup. Right, let's kick things off with the biggest headline of all. For the very first time, electric vehicles are no longer going to be exempt from road tax. This is a huge deal. It really marks the end of an era for what was a major incentive that helped kickstart the whole EV boom in the first place.
That's right. You heard me. That £0 tax disc that so many EV owners have gotten used to is being completely scrapped. The government's logic here is that as electric cars become more and more common, it's only fair that all drivers start to contribute to maintaining our roads.
So what does this actually look like in pounds and pence? Well, it all depends on when your EV was first registered. If you buy a brand new EV after April 1st, 2025, you'll pay a small £10 fee for the first year, and then it jumps to £195 a year after that. If you already own an EV that was registered after April 2017, you'll skip the first-year fee and go straight to paying that same standard rate of £195. And even the really early EV adopters with cars registered before 2017 will now have a new £20 annual fee to pay.
But hold on, it's not just EV owners who are going to feel the pinch. The changes for new petrol and diesel cars are, in some ways, even more dramatic, especially when you look at that very first tax payment you make in year one.
And if you want to see just how big this jump is, take a look at this. For a typical, brand new family SUV, the first-year tax bill is set to literally double. We're talking about a leap from £680 to a really staggering £1,360, practically overnight.
The system is still tiered based on emissions, so the more you pollute, the more you pay. For example, a car in that 76 to 90 grams per kilometer band will see its first-year tax double to £270. But look at the top end. If you're buying a vehicle that chucks out over 255 grams per kilometer, you'll now be facing an eye-watering first-year bill of £5,490. Now, here's the key thing to remember. After you've taken that big hit in the first year, things do level out. From the second year on, the standard annual rate for all petrol and diesel cars registered after April 2017 will be £195, which, you'll notice, is the exact same standard rate as for most new electric cars. But wait, there's more. We're not done yet. There's another layer of tax we need to talk about, the expensive car supplement. And get this, from 2025, it's coming for electric vehicles for the very first time.
So this supplement, some people call it the luxury car tax, is basically an extra annual fee you have to pay. And here's the crucial part. It's all based on the manufacturer's official list price when the car was new, and that includes any factory-fitted options. And here's the kicker. It doesn't matter if you haggle the great discount. If that official list price was over the line, you're paying the tax. Simple as that.
Now for petrol and diesel cars, we're already familiar with this. That threshold is still £40,000. If you've bought a premium car in the last few years, you'll know all about this one.
And if your car's list price does tip over that £40,000 mark, you'll be paying this additional £425 a year. That's on top of the standard rate, which means your total annual bill will be £620 for 5 years. Ouch.
Okay, so for EVs, this is where it gets a little more interesting. From April 2025, they will also get hit by this surcharge if their list price is over £40,000. But, and this is important, the government has recognized that EVs just cost more upfront, so from April 2026, they're raising that threshold to £50,000, but only for new EVs registered from that date.
And this change really gets to the heart of a big complaint from the industry. Critics have been saying for a while that the £40,000 limit was just unfair for EVs. Because of the expensive battery tech, you had perfectly normal family cars, like a Kia Niro EV, getting slapped with a tax that was originally designed for high-end luxury vehicles.
So that's the big picture for 2025. But believe it or not, the government is already thinking even further ahead, and there could be another massive shift coming down the road.
So let me introduce you to something called EVD, which stands for Electric Vehicle Excise Duty. This is a proposed pay-per-mile system that's being looked at right now. The whole idea is to plug the gap in tax money that's disappearing as we all stop buying petrol and diesel. It's just a proposal for now, but they're thinking about bringing it in from 2028.
Now, this proposal is pretty controversial, but here's how it would work. It would be an extra charge on top of the standard road tax we've been talking about. The proposed cost is 3 pence per mile for a pure electric car and 1.5 pence per mile for plug-in hybrids. It's a really fundamental change to how we tax driving, and it's definitely one to watch.
Okay, I know that was a lot of information to take in, so let's just boil all of that down. What does this all actually mean for you, and what, if anything, can you do about it? Let's make a quick action plan.
First up, if you're buying a new petrol or diesel car, you've got to know its CO2 number. That now has a huge impact on your first-year tax bill. Second, check that official list price. Remember, it's the sticker price from the manufacturer, not what you actually pay, that could trigger that expensive car surcharge. And finally, and this is a big one, think about timing your purchase. If you can buy and get your new car registered before April 1st, 2025, you could genuinely save yourself a very significant amount of money.
And all of this really leaves us with one massive question, doesn't it? As the government makes the cost of taxing an electric car and a petrol car more and more similar, what does that mean for the future? With one of the biggest financial carrots for going green now gone, what on earth is the next generation of green driving incentives going to look like?